name is Rose Clark. I live here in Kinston, North Carolina with my husband and my daughter. I grew up on a farm, and my dad was older when I was born, and then when my brother Ernest was born, my dad was 64. My mom was 44. There was a 20-year age difference in there. My brother Ernest was the youngest of 10 children. He was kind of the favorite child of my dad, and he followed him around everywhere. And I won't say good kid, but he never got into trouble or anything. And our mom we got in an accident in 1966, and she didn't survive. Ernest was 14. And they feel like that was kind of the start of some of his depression, which we didn't realize. My dad got him to drinking shortly after my mom died. Started telling me he'd feel better if he drank some whiskey.
He was really just struggling to get by. He's a veteran and was honorably discharged. He was suffering from depression and was self-medicating with drugs and alcohol. He was isolated and came to depend on Linwood.
There was a nephew that was kind of raised up with a dad that was really not very respectful of the law, and he was kind of in and out of trouble. And Linwood was the person that drew Ernest in to where Ernest felt like that was his only friend.
Linwood, turns out he was a informant with the police, so he got around a lot. And so he knew lots of people in the county, and one of those people that he crossed paths with was Sylvia White. And Sylvia wanted her husband dead. So she came up with a plan with Linwood that they would lure her husband out to a field at night under the auspices of showing some land. And Linwood talked Ernest into going with him and actually helping him kill Billy White. It didn't take long for them to put this all together, and Ernest, Sylvia, and Linwood were all arrested.
In April of 1993, Ernest Basden is tried and convicted of killing Billy White. And on Good Friday, the jury hands down the harshest possible sentence, death. Linwood Taylor is finally sentenced. Even though all the murder defendants are charged under the same law, carrying the same potential penalties, only Ernest Basden, who was tried 3 years before the others, receives the death penalty.
Are there times when you just feel like saying, man, I can't fight this anymore?
Myself, no. Because I know there is hope.
When he got in jail and got clean, he was transformed. He recommitted his life to his faith, and he actually became a minister in prison. Ernest was someone who was very likable, and he was always positive.
We always go to cheer him up, but it was always the reverse. He cheered us up. After Ernest got up to Raleigh in prison, back then they would let him do art classes and different classes. I knew this would help him to develop his mind and to keep him busy, and it would be emotionally, mentally therapeutic. The last year, they had stopped any kind of classes for people on death row. They just had to go through the motions of the day. They executed Ernest in '02, December 6th, Denny, Sonia, and I were with him at the last hour, and Denny said, "I'm sorry, Ernest, we didn't do enough." And he just shook and he said, "Don't ever say that." He said, "You did everything you could." Cindy and I were walking back to the main visiting area before Ernest is executed. And she said, "Rose, you know, we've got to turn this into something positive." You have a tragedy like we had, and then you either sit and dwell on it, or you get involved and try to help other people in the same situation, and you get involved in things that help you focus on something besides the problems. And I think art is a tremendous way to do that. I went back to my welding, had the opportunity to do a good public art project here in town. It kind of snowballed from there. I have 9 public art projects, and I do private commissions, and it's been very therapeutic. Not everybody is a painter, as an artist and as a painter. Not everybody is a welder that can turn that into art, but everybody has a way that if they look for it, that they can have something to do that can help them through a tragedy.
I was talking to a person. He suggested, why don't you start a blog and just tell little bits of the stories? Just the telling of stories, to throw them out there in the universe, if you will, so that it can change people's perceptions in various ways, whether it be about the death penalty, whether it be about the justice system, is a way that I've found to be best for me.
It was quite a journey. It'll never be over, but hopefully as a result of that, it's helped other people, and they really feel like Ernest's case has been one of the reasons that there have not been more executions since. It's helped slow down the death penalty, and there's ways we can help other families, then that's, what we'll do. When things like this happen, you either learn from it and go on, or you withdraw more. And I said, I think that Ernest wanted was for you to keep on being an activist and trying to stop the injustice of the system.